Hi, welcome back to our Algebra 1 playlist. On this video, we're going to talk about properties of exponents. There are three major properties of exponents that you need to know. We need to know what to do when I see multiplication, what to do when I see a power to a power, that's parentheses, and what do I do if I see division. So if you see multiplication, I'm not really multiplying, I'm really going to add the exponents. If I see parentheses, a power to a power, I'm going to multiply those exponents together. And if I see division, I'm not really dividing, really I'm subtracting. So, first one's not too bad. I see multiplication, all I have to do is add those up, and I get z to the 8th power. 1 plus 7 gets me 8. It gets a little bit more complicated on number 2. I see two parts to this question. I see power to a power, or parentheses, and I see multiplication in the middle. So let me take this step by step. I've got to do the power to a power first. So that's going to be 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is going to be 8. And if I put those together, because I see multiplying, I get 17. So the key there is that you have to follow your order of operations. We have to do parentheses first. So I have to do those parentheses first. And then I have to do my multiplication or division. So if you think of your, order of operations, I have to do parentheses first, then multiplication, then addition. That's the key, is remembering that order in which we do these operations. On question 3, not too bad. I see parentheses, that means multiply. And 4, again, same idea. I would encourage you to pause the video, try number 4 on your own, and then unpause and check your work. But it's 2 parts. First do your parentheses, then do the multiplying. So first I've got to do p to the 30th because I see 6 times 5 is 30. And then I see multiplication, so I have to add those up. 30 plus 10 gets me 40. On 5 and 6, again, same ideas as before. I see subtraction because I see division. So the first thing I have to do is remember to do my order of operations. Here, all I have is division. So I'm not really dividing, really I'm subtracting. I have 45 on the top and 5 on the bottom of the fraction. I have more p's on top in the numerator than I have on the bottom in the denominator. So my final answer is going to have my variable in the numerator. If I take 45 minus 5, I get 40. And just as a placeholder, I'll put a 1. So why do I have 40 up top? Because I had more variables in the numerator, my answer goes in the numerator. If I had more variables in the denominator, then that would be down there. All right, on 6, again, we got to try to do our order of operations. This is really x to the 50th over x to the 5 times 2 is 10. So we're bringing back that old multiplication property from before, and we're incorporating that into our division. And again, I see division, so I'm going to do subtraction. 50 minus 10. I have more x's in the numerator, so I'll put my answer in the numerator. 50 minus 10 is 40. I can put a placeholder of 1 in that denominator. Let's talk about number 7 and number 8. On number 7, I have 2 variables. So I usually think of this as 2 parts. Split this up into 2 parts. I've got p and I've got w. So with my first variable, where do I have more? I have more in the numerator. So my answer is going to go in the numerator. 11 minus 9 is 2. For w, I have more w's in the denominator, so my answer is going to go in the denominator. And 11 minus 3 is 8. So my final answer, if I put these together, I'd have p to the second over w to the 8th. If I were to connect those, that would be my final answer. 8 is where it's going to get a little bit more challenging. Now there are 3 parts. Now I've got whole numbers, I've got r, and I've got w. Let me do this in 3 parts. 16 divided by 8. R to the 7th over R to the 23rd. And W to the 4th over W to the 5th. What can be challenging about this one is that when I see exponents, division really means subtract. But when I see whole numbers, division still means division. So 16 divided by 8 is 2 over 1. Done. R to the 7th over R to the 23rd. Where do I have more r's? I have more r's in the denominator. Now I see division, I've got to subtract. 23 minus 7 is 16. And since there's nothing up top, let me put a placeholder of 1. W's, where do I have more W's? On the bottom in the denominator. 5 minus 4 is 1. So let me put these all together. I guess really you don't need the 1's, right? The only thing that's really up top in the numerator is 2. That's an arrow. And then on the bottom I have r to the 16th and w to the 1st. And I really don't need this 1 either. So I can ignore the 1's. And I'll have 2 over r to the 16th times w to the 1st. Okay, I'm going to ask you to pause the video, try 9 and 10 on your own, and then unpause the video and check your work. All right, hopefully you've paused the video, tried these already. 9 is a little bit extra special because I've got a negative. Can't have a negative. So if I see a negative exponent, I need to move it to the other side of the fraction. So this negative 3 needs to go down to the denominator. I still have a b to the 4th there. Now I have b to the 3rd as well. And when you move that, it's going to become positive. Nothing up top, I'll put a 1 as a placeholder. And now what's interesting about this question is it went from a subtraction problem to an addition problem. Because now I see multiplying, so I have to add these exponents. 4 plus 3 is b to the 7th. And 10, if you remember, 10, we have to split this up into 2 parts. Whole numbers and variables. And I'll put a 1 for that x. And when I'm simplifying, I have to divide these, and I have to subtract the exponents. So 30 divided by 10 is 3, which is the same as 3 over 1. I have more x's here in the denominator. 4 minus 1 is 3. So 3 times 1 is 3, and that's just x to the 3rd. 3 over x to the 3rd. I'll do a negative exponents video in just a second here. I'm going to ask you to please check out that video, and I'll see you soon.